Ooh, and going defense stance even?
Thor is a pick that we've been seeing a lot in, the NA scene, in the EU scene. That orb and the hammer. Hammer, especially a strong weapon right now, but orb was kind of a little bit slept on last year. Something that we didn't see too much of because it was still fairly new, but now
took a little while to develop.
Figuring it out. It got a few changes. People are really coming into it. I know I was watching a few players using orb on the Pro Brawlhalla stream.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday and the day before. I think Boomy was actually playing Dusk. I think it was Dusk, and I know we saw.
Sandstorm play a little bit of Dusk.
Yes,
this weekend.
Dusk.
Yep.
I believe he brought the Thor out as well afterwards.
There it is, Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, the first weapon to drop, but immediately over to the orb. Ooh. I wonder what kind of strings and combos Rite has. I mean, there is a ton of freedom across the orb's kit.
I mean, we see the combos and the strings just rolling out the gate right now. Rite just taking the pressure onto Baka as Baka tries to take advantage of that hammer, finding hits.
Ooh.
The scoops, not doing too much damage, but finding the displacement that he needs to kind of reset that map control. Rite with the orb, though, he's going to be throwing it away for the hammer. He's looking for that kill now. He's got blood in the water. He smells it.
He's like, all right, you want to play hammer?
Woo!
I've got a hammer, too. Become the Thunder.
I mean, that's Thor for you.
Jeez, man, I
know,
like
applause.
Especially on a weapon that is generally as slow as hammer is, that signature is absolutely terrifying because it doesn't have a ton of priority while he's traveling. It basically, like, his body is the actual attack. So if you've got a longer range weapon, you can kind of just smack him. But, man, it is incredibly strong and quick to move.
Yes. And that's something that Baka's got to really watch out for. But he does find the opportunity down air off stage as Rite gets really hungry for that KO and gets caught out and loses the stock and makes it a much closer game than he started out.
I mean, that was almost surgical precision from
exactly.
Baka. He saw the opportunity and did not let it slip by.
A true mark of a very solid player is knowing when you can find that opportunity at the last possible second. And he was right there, ready and raring with that down air as soon as Rite came off stage.
Rite sticking on this hammer. He's going to be looking for those big swings. He's already got Baka into the red. Looking for what could be my next knockout move. That signature again, enough to send him off, but not to seal the deal.
Of course, it is a very dangerous attack when it can just kind of scoot across the stage, especially when you charge it. You float there, and stuff like sword down air or sword down line. I don't know if it picks it up because you float a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, sword down light, you've got to be incredibly careful where you place it just because of any attacks that hop off the ground or hover a little bit. I mean, they will be able to get over and punish that.
Might be why he's approaching with it, too. But either way, Rite getting pushed back a little bit by Baka. The weapon throw not going to connect, so he's actually going to lose that. Going to go back to the sword, but Rite makes the approach with the orb. Can't quite find the pressure to push Baka off stage, but Baka finding the recovery, not going to take him off the top. The orb, and there it is, finding the second one, picking him up right halfway through the animation of that recovery, and there it goes right now. Finding that hammer, all he needs is a couple good hits to get him into the orange and put the pressure onto Baka, but Baka has that map control. He's going to get scooped out of it, and Rite's going to take it. No, it's going to go back into that center control from Baka off stage now, looking for a little bit more damage, trying to just put the pressure on, but Rite finding a nice stomp into the recovery.
That could have led into some very interesting things. I do like that option, using them on these lower platforms. But I got to give it up to Baka. Like, he has done an amazing job, just anti-airing with that sword neutral air. Can he find his way back onto stage here, though? He's done a good job mixing up his dodges. He hasn't really gotten caught in any major dodge reads from Rite. But he still has a little bit to cut through. Thor's armor, so incredibly potent. Hammer versus hammer, deep in the red, and it's Rite that finds the stomp into side air to take the game.
Finding that opportunity was key because both players could have been put in that situation. With both players in red, a stomp sider from either one of them could have led to the victory. Even if Rite, he had a little bit less damage built up, even if he didn't happen to get KO'd off of a stomp side air, he would have been forced off stage, giving Baka just a huge advantage over Rite in that situation. Any sort of edge guard would have just taken him out at that point.
Yeah, now this is interesting. We're running it back. Crystal Temple once again. Baka over on the Koji here. So we've got the sword, the bow, but now we've got a couple Oni horns to go with it.
The swap to Koji is a very interesting one. Baka was actually extremely successful with those hammer plays before, so dropping the hammer in
favor of the bow.
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice.
Yeah, maybe the bow's got the range that it needs to beat out a lot of these attacks. I mean, it has incredible strings that it can go for, and I mean, the downlight, especially when you dash it, goes nearly full stage.
And it does have the disjointed diagonals to deal with orb as well. So that might be another consideration in that. Gets caught on the backswing.
Oh my gosh, and the recovery almost enough off the top.
The second one definitely would have done it, but unfortunately isn't able to find the connection. Goes for the down air instead of the recovery, and now Rite is able to turn it around. The recovery from Baka, looking for the neutral sig, not going to catch him, as Rite does get the edge guard situation now. Recovery not going to connect, as Baka does find the rightfully timed dodge. And the weapon throw approach is not going to be successful. Rite put into a precarious situation.
I mean, he's unarmed. Baka guarding that weapon. Look at those floorboards stomping up, threatening to take Rite out. Wow, I cannot believe that didn't knock out.
It was so close. But Rite still trying to find that KO. Baka having come all the way back. If he can find this KO, he is in the realm of finding just so much advantage right now. But that is going to be unfortunate for him as he gets caught out in the middle of those charge-up frames. I think he knew exactly what was happening as soon as he threw that Sig out as well.
Yeah, I mean, you saw him charge it a little bit. It was one of those situations where you have to decide, well, uh-oh.
That could have been really bad.
Absolutely disastrous. But Baka, I mentioned it before, he's done a great job just kind of varying up his escapes. He hasn't really gotten caught into any major dodge strings.
Unfortunately, though, for Baka, he is approaching that KO point in the red.
Caught the recovery.
He does have the recovery.
But Orb flying with that Thor neutral sig. Oh my gosh.
And that's something you can never forget as well. Thor does have an enormous amount of range on that neutral sig, and that is like Lance and Gauntlets use side airs, and then maybe some Lance characters use side sigs as well. Thor does have the neutral sig there, then get throw out from the gravity cancel to get him back to stage. But Baka, 2 stocks later, finally finds that KO on a Rite.
But it's a tall order from here.
Yes.
I mean, you still have 2 fresh stocks to cut through on Thor with extra defense. Man, you've got to answer, like 10 attacks to every one right now to bring this back.
Well, that's all she wrote there. Rite taking it down. Game number 2. Will he come back in game number 3? Baka has one more chance.
The swap back to the Bodvar. I got to tell you, yes, I agree. His Bodvar did more work than his Koji there, but it's something more fundamental in the game plan that needs to change.
Yes.
And this time, we're going over to Apocalypse instead.
Well, sticking with the newer maps here. Perhaps I don't know how the map favorability goes in Australia. I know a lot of regions still prefer Mammoth Fortress. I know the Crystal Castle.
Yep.
Is one that a lot of players
a beautiful stage.
But I don't know how Australia feels about the maps. I don't know if they're,
Well, it seems like they like it enough to pick it twice in a row, run it back, and now we're over on Apocalypse. All right, so we get slightly longer walls here, so maybe an easier time recovering, but also, there's just the 1 platform instead of the 2.
Also wider side kill boxes.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. So it'll take a little bit longer to knock out, but man, I feel like that's got to favor Rite with all that defense.
It'll be a tall order to kill off the top as well because it does have a very high ceiling. Baka with the advantage right now goes a little bit too far. Gets caught by Rite, but the recovery is going to turn things around for just a second as Rite does make it back, throws a down air out, trying to read out the approach from Baka. And the side sigs just coming out from both players. There it is to stop the side air, and that is going to be that first stock off of Baka. Rite just holding on barely to that stock as Baka just kept coming like an unstoppable force that unfortunately maybe didn't realize it wasn't so unstoppable.
Man, I got to tell you, Rite he knows where to place the attacks to get stopping that train. And I wanted to mention before, I do appreciate him for the Winter Championship using that Winter Knockout.
Yes.
just seeing like all the sleigh bells and the snowflakes pop out every time. It's very on theme.
Exactly, and that's the kind of thing. I mean, I would also accept, you know, a Valentine's Day one, because that was a little bit sooner than maybe some of the other winter stuff, but I guess we are still in winter technically.
Yep.
Although Australia, I guess they have summer right now.
Oh, man. So is this going to be the Australian Summer Championship? My gosh. Everything flipped on its head.
I mean, everything's kind of in reverse, even the way the water swirls.
Oh, my gosh. Well, he's got to figure out a way to get Rite down off of this stage. That's got to be it, right? Even skipping off of the ground. But that felt like even that barely was able to take out Thor. Such a monstrous legend.
Well, I mean, come on. It is the whole Brawlhalla thing is kind of in his favor. I mean, his dad runs the whole thing, right?
Oh, my gosh. My dad owns a dealership. It's Brawlhalla. That's going to be it.
The Brawlhalla nepotism coming in play. Anyway, Rite with the Thor, finding the two
Double
scoops to find him off the
scoops.
top, and that's going to be Baka losing the second stock.
What flavors do you think they were? They were both Baka flavored. That's it. It's victory. It tastes sweet.
And Rite is just lapping it right up.
Jeez, 2 stocks to 1. Rite again with a massive damage lead here. And just continuing to build it. Look at him just covering so much area. That orb down air. You know, any of those diagonals, they always feel a little bit trickier to place. The orb down air, at least, you know, you get a little bit more of a ground
very
swell.
nice.
Whoa! Baka just laddering him up, comboing off of that platform. Absolutely beautiful.
He practiced the read, and he found that situation where it really just comes into play. Rite looking for the side air. That would have caught Baka off. The down air. Uh-oh, catching him below.
No.
And there it is, the ground pound, that disjointed ground pound, giving him so much range to find Baka on his way back up.
Oh my gosh. So Rite taking it. You know, Baka, he had those flashes of brilliance, especially that last highlight clip. Oh my gosh. I believed for a moment.
I mean, I saw it
let
there.
myself believe.
I saw Baka through his eyes. He saw the neutral air. He saw the recovery. He saw the options to get back. He saw the counter attack as well. But then the ground pound. He didn't see that.
It was too much to deal with, man.
He's not Kyler Ellis. He's not psychic.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll find out. You know, we're still working our way through the bracket.
Sure.